Have you ever had one of those days where you wake up and you kind of just stare at your to-do list, right? That list is so big, you're just being pummeled by the number of issues and challenges, so much so that you don't even know where to start. Has that ever happened to you? You're just overwhelmed with the amount of activities that are on your plate. Well, you're not alone. This happens to every small business owner. Hi, I'm John Witt, and today I'm going to share a wonderfully simple tool for reducing your mental clutter so that you can focus in on what's most important for your business, so you can complete your tasks and resolve your issues, and so they don't come back ever again. So I learned this story from Greg DeSimone. I use it at my workshops. Imagine a table at your office, and it's maybe one of those 2.5 by 5 foot folding tables, and on that table are 5 file boxes. Now, what if I asked you to bring all 5 of these boxes to your car from this table? How would you do it? Now, let's assume that you don't have access to any tools or dollies or two-wheelers, that would allow you to carry all the boxes at once. How would you do it? Now, when I share this story at my workshops, somebody always says, I take one at a time and come back and get the next one. And I say, perfect. That's a logical way to do it. All right, so now let's just change the rules a little bit. Let's say that you don't have enough time to get all the boxes to your car today. How would you decide which boxes to take? And someone, once again, always raises their hand and says, hey, I would take all of the most important boxes. The boxes that have the things I might need, the things that I might need that night. That's what I would take first. And I say, great, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, how come when we go to our office and there's 5 phone calls and 5 customer requests and 5 employees waiting at your desk, all of them have problems, and there's 5 emails and 5 phone messages, why do we decide that we want to do them all at once? I mean, this is like picking up a box and putting it on one shoulder, and then you reach and try to pick up the other box, and you really can't handle it. You get it on your second shoulder, and then you try to juggle one on your head, and then you have one between your knees, and then you're kicking the other one out the door. And you only get 20% of the way there. And this is where business math and regular math divert. Regular math says, and this is what you learned in school, with 5 things at 20% equals 1. But in business, 5 things at 20% equals 0, equals 20%. It's 0. Nothing's done, right? 99% is 0. And clients come to me all the time. They're working long, hard hours, killing themselves, but it's not getting any better because they're trying to juggle these 5 boxes. And they're not picking the biggest or the most important box and getting that out to the car, getting it completed so that they're making progress. So now, say this is your day-to-day and nothing's getting done, nothing's completed. And tomorrow looks the same. And again, the next day. And for the rest of your life, how incredibly frustrating is that? I mean, you never get any better. You couldn't get any better. Nothing would ever get done. Priorities are the key and a single-minded focus to get things complete. Here's where this tool called the value proposition chart plays a really key role. The value proposition chart is in chapter 5 of my book on translating ideas into money. It's on Amazon. You can get it at amazon.com/author/John Witt. Now, sometimes it's a no-brainer to identify the biggest fire. And if you find yourself firefighting all the time, then you might have defined your biggest initiative. Other times it's not so easy. And you can use this value proposition flip chart or chart that I'm going to show you in just a minute on day-to-day issues and on big initiatives. Whether you're getting the year started or trying to keep it rolling or coming to the second half, you're always trying to meet your goals. And we want to make sure that we're working on the right stuff. And you might be considering a variety of business improvement initiatives. And it's one thing to understand that the goal of your business is to attract and retain customers. But what to do to serve your business and how to do it that's an entirely different set of questions. And my clients get calls every day from money lenders and marketing experts, and they're all offering all sorts of winning solutions. They get email messages, LinkedIn, advertisements on social media. They're all offering super things, payroll services, HR services, insurance. And a lot of these are absolutely necessary for your business. However, if you don't evaluate these opportunities effectively, you're going to be throwing good money away, and that's not fun. And also, if it's too good to be true, it just might be, right? So the key to this chart is that it forces you to look at the underlying cost and benefit components of your activities and your initiatives. It answers key questions like, hey, what does this issue really cost? Or in this case of this initiative, what will this project really cost? And you want to dig deep to get the good answers. And what will it actually provide? This is the deep dive into the benefits. How much money will it really make or save? And it provides a comparison to other projects and issues so you can effectively evaluate which is more valuable. I mean, you've got limited time and resources, so it's important not to overlook competition from your other opportunities. A lot of choices. And then the final step is to ask your trusted advisors what they think. Who agrees with the assessment that was derived from the previous questions? And make sure that you have your analysis reviewed by trusted sources. Now, if you're a small business owner, you may not need much more approval than yourself. However, ensuring that your resources are effectively deployed on the most valuable activities, that's critical. In addition, you'll need to make sure that your internal and external team members are fully on board. So let's talk about benefits versus costs. With any project, it's important to outline your benefits and your costs, right? So now let's consider the following examples. And these are all in the book, by the way. So from a benefit standpoint, it could be operating cost reduction, and that saves money. Or it could be increasing revenue, which makes money. Or it could be mitigating risk factors, preventing loss. Or it could be increasing or maintaining employee satisfaction, which attracts and retains customers. Or it could be enabling corporate strategy, maybe some expansion or something of that sort. On the cost side of the analysis, there's time versus value calculations. There's complexity and risk calculations. You might need extra money to cover complex or risky factors. You've got one-time implementation costs. You've got new and or ongoing operating costs. These are important. You got to keep track of all this stuff. Maybe there's a deferral of other initiatives. Now, how do you weigh the costs against the benefits? And this is where the value proposition chart that I learned from Georgia Perkey, she's with Endpoint Advisors. She's one of my trusted advisors. This is one of my favorite charts to use with clients because of all the decisions they have to make to determine where and how to spend or invest this money. All right. So let me show you the sample chart. Okay, so this is the value proposition chart, theory of relativity. And really, it's just a way to compare initiatives, projects, issues with each other to figure out which ones are the most valuable. Sometimes it's hard. It can be tricky, right? And so really what we have is a chart with two lines. One side is costs, one side is benefits. In this chart here, we've got the $0 sum here, and up here I put 100, but that could be whatever you want it to be. And over here it could be 200, and that could be whatever you want it to be. And then we sort of plot four square, just to kind of keep the relationships together, right? And so you could look at initiative number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And essentially what you do is you say it's going to cost X dollars, right? And it's going to make Y money, or it's going to save Y money. And then that would plot itself right up here, or here, or here, or here. And when you do this, what it does is it gives you this amazing opportunity just to compare the two. Now, when I look at this chart, now this is a sample, and again, it's in the book. I look straight at initiative number 5, right? Initiative number 5 has the biggest benefit and the least cost. So that means it has the highest return on investment. And if that was all I could afford, that's the one I would do, right? Now, this one here has a great return on investment, but, it costs a lot more money to implement, right? It costs, a lot more money to implement number 2. And if I had to do two things, I think I could do, I might get close to initiative number 2 by doing initiative 4 and number 5 together. I might get close to the results, or I could do initiative number 5 and 6, right? Because 6 is really inexpensive, but it has some pretty significant benefits. So, you take those two and you might compare. So this is just a tool that can really allow you, and it's very simple. You can draw this out anytime you want to. That really allow you to evaluate the issues that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, or it could be, the initiatives, the investments that you're looking at to improve your business. So think about your current or past projects or initiatives and their benefits and costs. Which ones gave you the highest return on investment? My clients have found that this exercise is very helpful, and I hope you find it to be helpful as well. As always, before you leave, please scroll down and leave a comment below. Share your thoughts on the 5 boxes or the value proposition chart, or just let me know that you were here. Your comments are valuable to our content production. The value proposition chart is a great move for your business, and when you make the right moves in business, winning gets a lot easier. Cheers to your success.